Like we pointed out yesterday, Creative and Artsy are two things that have catapulted Seagull to popularity as a streamer. But let's see now if the US can finish the job here, heading on to a bit of a home ground league. It's going to be Route 66.
Yeah, indeed. See if it can work out for them. It was a very successful map for the US team yesterday against the Chilean team. We saw, obviously, the style, the artsy play that Seagull mentioned there. We saw some of that yesterday. He
Paint
was
me
going
like one
off.
of your French Genjis.
Indeed, indeed. Whereas Germany, well, they had a struggling time, didn't they, against Russia. It hasn't been a good tournament overall for Germany, if I'm all truthful, because they came into this one, we expected them to do well, but they've just not gelled. I don't know what it is. Obviously, they got the three tanks in there, but you know what? The meta actually fits those three tanks.
Yeah, right? That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Germany's one of the rare cases, I feel like, at this event, who are actually, we've seen them become less than the sum of their parts in this team. They are incredibly talented. Everyone in this roster has a rich history, both in Overwatch and prior to that, but they haven't managed to get the results. You know, one thing that I was hearing from the United States, which I really liked, hearing Meza say, everyone kind of plays everything in this team. And one of my concerns was actually already answered, because going into this I wondered if Seagull's playing Xayah, who's going to have that real killer instinct on Genji. I know that Tailspin can play it as a projectile player, but my question was answered in the last map. Gods was on the Xayah. He actually tweeted early in the week saying, I can't believe I haven't been playing Xayah already. She's so much fun. So he's actually picked up Xayah and played her. Now that allows Seagull to be free. So the United States have got such an incredible arsenal here, League, of different heroes and a depth of hero pool that a lot of teams can't match. But let's now jump into it here as they're going to be attacking on Route 66.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Germany, do or die time. Will you be able to keep yourselves in this tournament? Because it will be 2 wins for the United States if they were to take Route 66 and 2 losses for Germany. Something I don't think anyone back home in the motherland would have expected after picking such a well-versed, well-experienced team. But here we go. Big Earls is the man that's going to be challenged. That is the station that they are all on top of. And they're trying to go for the splintered attack. Seagull going straight in for RTA there. You see him trying to throw the hook out, but he's just getting swarmed.
Yeah, no, it's going to be in big trouble there. Already had Bionic Grenade on him now. Somehow, RTA are able to deal with a lot of that damage. He's staying alive for the most part. Now going to be threatened, but Seagull gets hooked in. RTA baits him in. The low health Roadhog was too juicy a trick to resist, and Seagull falls.
Yeah, it doesn't manage to catch him. Of course, stood on that 200 health pack. That just meant to keep him alive. And the United States are stopped dead. Nice hook there onto Adam from RTA. And Germany hold the first attack. Yeah,
interesting to see Icefall play the McCree here. He does play it for Luminosity, a very, very experienced hitscan player in his own right, and that'll be RTA now playing the Roadhog. So is this McCree Roadhog combo that we actually saw the US try and use against Germany in last map? They want to deal with flankers. It's an answer to Seagull, especially.
Well, Seagull's got that Dragon Blade ready to go. He's going to be looking towards it. The Graviton surges up as well, so look for the pulse bomb. That might follow through. Seagull's going off with the Dragon Blade. Is he going to be able to catch RTA down? No, not quite finishing the job, but the rest of his team have. Tailspin comes around into that. Hook gets picked off by Tailspin. The pulse bomb goes down on Skipjack, and that is Germany decimated.
Yeah, RT is having a tough time catching Seagull there as well. You saw him throw about 2 hooks in the space of that play. RT is only really hitting 1 in 3 hooks right now, which isn't really enough. I mean, you really need at least 50% or more than that. That's just as a number. But you can see that Germany actually thought about challenging here. This could be dangerously. Germany are really properly set up. You can see they're still backing away. The door opens slowly, but if anyone from the US had pushed forward, maybe just to try and catch and chase a kill, that could have been nasty.
Well, RTA is still kind of out of position at the moment. He's just sitting around the side, so they haven't got the high ground advantage. They normally get that corner position taken up. Now they're starting to flank around. Now they're starting to get back in that position, but they've kind of been left in a little bit of no man's land. You can see Skipjack still down on the low ground as well as RTA. Looking to try and get one of those side flanks. He gets himself a Winston, not ideal. Drops down and makes the most of it with the whole hog into a Graviton Surge. Is it going to be enough? Because Biotic Grenade's not going to keep him alive. Internet Hook's the man that comes in and picks up the kills. And thank you very much, Germany. They shut the doors and they get the hook on Tailspin just to finish the juicy job.
Yeah, that's good actually, because Tailspin now have to walk back a little bit further. And the fact is, Germany had a lot of ults, a big bank of them going into that fight. And good restraint. Just the Graviton Surge and the whole hog. I think a sound barrier did get used there. But Germany now have a second wave of ultimates to use. I mean, this is gross. That's one of the highest damage combos in the game right there. The Bionic Grenade, I think in a sound barrier for the United States did help them. But again, they'd never be able to withstand that. You pretty much have to lay down and accept your fate there.
Skipjack goes in. He's got to be careful. He's being flanked around the side there. And you can see Seagull is going got his Dragon Blade ready and waiting to go. He's going to drop down and quickly deflects it back in Icefeld's face. Thank you very much. That's an easy kill. And now that's a problem for Germany because they lose one of their key damage dealers. And now the Dragon Blade is off. He goes in. He finds Ruster. Can he get himself a second? Finds RTA. Goes in looking for Internet Hulk. He takes him down. And Skipjack, the final man standing, takes a shuriken to the forehead. And down he goes. The United States will roll on to the second checkpoint.
They all just got C-wrecked there. 5 kills from Seagull. And notice that he's pathing in order to avoid RTA for the most part. He knows he needs to respect that hook. But most flanker players know when the hook's on cooldown. They know they've got a 6-second window after they see the Roadhog throw the hook out where he really can't do anything about it. The Graviton set's being used now. That's a pulse bomb. That's going to hurt. Oh, tailspin. The damage is real. At least 4 kills over that one. Germany threw themselves at it, knowing that they'd have to desperately stop that payload from moving. But United States shut the door in their face, and they're going to leave a bruise on the eye of the Germans.
Perfect stuff from Tailspin. Perfect positioning overall. God's Tailspin all completely set that up. Look at it. Here it is again. Look at it. It's just a simple mincer. There's nothing at all Germany can do. 6-man stack in 1 point with the Graviton Surge. Immediately switches back over to the Reaper. Says, thank you very much. My ulti is used. Now let's make it useful. Moving in. The Earth Shatter goes down from Meza. Doesn't catch a great deal with it. Skipjack does take down Tailspin before it happens, but Meza's swinging a hammer. He's already taken down the big tank. Gets himself a second tank down as well. Seagull going off in the background. And Germany are falling left, right, and center. There's nothing they can do to stop the juggernaut of the United States rolling home.
That's what Germany tried to engage. They knew they had to be proactive and aggressive in trying to stop the US, but even after missing the Earth Shatter, Meza was able to swing the hammer and get a lot of damage done. Hit no one, but after he started getting down and dirty, the kills started falling. Adam finds Russell to start this fight off, and Skipjack has himself a nano boost, but he's looking for a target, and everyone is making themselves so scarce. Skipjack didn't even see where Stir was now, but this could be nasty. Charge it! Oh, he hits it as well. It's a hole-in-one. He'll probably save the Earth Shatter here. Doesn't really need to use it for now, but that's a big play from Skipjack and much needed reprieve here for Germany now on this last stage.
Buys them just a little bit of time. It is 2 minutes on the marker, and you can see United States already starting to gather for it. They're going to have the big ultis coming into this next fight as well. Seagull's made the switch. He's gone over to May now. You can see the Graviton Surge just popping into position for God, so they're going to be looking to set this one up. Stir's also got that nano boost, so probably going to hit onto Meza. Instead, he just goes straight for Tailspin. Tailspin goes in, hits himself onto the Death Blossom. Thank you very much. That is it. Game over, surely.
They've really nicely done there by the USA. They had all the pieces of the puzzle in the right place. They just dropped them in, and they watched the fireworks go. Gods picks up Internet Hulk now, and Kratos, he's desperately just trying to stall this one out, but very, very hard to avoid any attention. Now Icefelt will leap upon the payload for a moment to try and keep it going. Even Skipjack in towards Diva. It's full storm mode here from Germany, trying to prolong the inevitable.
Trying to do what they can, but unfortunately, it's too little too late. I feel all the kill feed is filled with red. The United States are rolling on through. Route 66 will be all over, and it's going to be just inside a minute. 56 seconds into the time bank for the United States. Happy faces across the board. They know they've done a pretty important job. Route 66, a tricky map to finish at the best of times, and that may well have just put them through to the quarterfinals.
The reality of the situation, Lee, is that the United States have something that Germany do not. They have a Genji that is, able to pretty much control entire fights on his own without nano boost, without Zarya shield, without speed boost. Seagull is a very self-sufficient player, especially when he brings the Genji in, and that's because he's hard to predict. We talk about him being a little bit more creative about the way he plays the game, and okay, he doesn't play the same way in these games as he does when he streams, right? He doesn't do that crazy sort of stuff, but you can see how confident he is going forward. Even if there's a Roadhog, even if there's a McCree, he knows he can challenge them out. Walking up to Icefelt, knowing exactly when to hit his deflect and sort of reflecting a headshot back at that McCree player and then just going and slicing and dicing RTA. That's Seagull facing 2 heroes that are his direct counters with an air of nonchalance. He was very confident coming forward. And Tailspin, of course, you saw what he was able to do towards the end there. I mean, a nano boost to Death Blossom is always going to be devastating, but what's even more important than that, Lee, is that not only were those elements in play for Tailspin, he had a shield from Gods, he had a speed boost from Adam. That is the 4 deadly things you need to put together, and then there's pretty much nothing you can do about that combo except get the heck out of dodge. Back up. And there was no room for Germany to do that whatsoever.
Yeah, we saw a number of really good wombo combos working for the United States all throughout that attack. Obviously, you had the Cravey Graviton Surge Pulse Bomb, the almost standard combo these days, I guess you could say. All working so well. Now, Germany, it is their turn to attack. Are they going to try something funky? I doubt it. I'm pretty sure we're not going to see the Bastion for Icefeld here. You never know. Won't see the Bastion train. Korea pulled it out yesterday.
This is something that Energy do.
Yeah.
And also, I think we've seen this from Lunatic High, actually. So, on this map, you can hide your Bastion. Yeah, because the enemy team, look, the defending team aren't looking at what you're doing here. They're actually sitting back because they need to. They won't know there's a Bastion until he already rounds a corner, and he'll already be trying to spray bullets over towards the US. He'll break a Reinhardt shield very quickly.
Is he going to position himself? Yes, there we go. He's on the skipjack. There we go. Standard stuff coming straight out of Alpha and Beta here. Getting straight around the corner, and immediately that shield is just whittling down. It's not a great deal. He's like, I cannot hold against this, such firepower. You cannot repel such magnitudes. But here we go, United States. They're just going to hold out big goals. And you know what? There is a big signpost up there that will be a shield for them, and that's all they needed to use. Now, Icefeld didn't manage to get anything from that one. There's the sleep dart going down on Skipjack. Doesn't do any problem still. No damage dealt across the board. Look at the hit points across the top. Everybody's holding steady at the moment. Icefeld finally sets himself in a position, has to get the hell out of dodge because he's quickly getting caught out. There's going to be a flank coming around. Tailspin tries to cause some problems, but Bastion will take him down, and Icefeld gets himself the first kill of the game.
Yep, I mean, this is a comp for Germany. They want the US to engage, right? They have a Roadhog to deal with flankers. They want to use the Bastion as a big, juicy piece of bait, and then they can collapse upon the US. But smart by the US, they're not falling for it. They just sort of sent Tailspin around the side. A little bit risky, perhaps, but I mean, getting a hook into a Bastion and picking him up, that would have been the job done already, right? The fact, though, that Icefeld was able to take him 1v1 in recon mode is going to mean that tank configuration is not far away for the Bastion.
Gods has got himself his Deadeye ready and waiting. He gets Ruster, picks him off around the side there. As soon as they get caught up, that's perfect for the Deadeye, but he just doesn't need to use it because the rest of his team are landing the kills. Gods gets himself the left click onto Skipjack, and Stir gets himself a quick double in there as well, getting himself on the board.
Yeah, Stir's been playing really well so far. I mean, those are support ults being used there. We saw Sound Barrier, we saw Nano Boost being used. That's about it. Tailspin switched directly over towards the D.Va. So he, with the defense matrix, can give his team quite a large window where they are not going to take any damage from the Bastion whatsoever. That's going to allow him to facilitate someone to get to the Bastion itself. So Gods can sort of 1v1 if Tailspin has a defense matrix there. Just like we talked about Bromas in the earlier game, how he set up Harry Hook on that D.Va. Same idea counts.
Well, they're walking straight into a Graviton Surge. They've got themselves stacked up, but it's only caught 3 of them out here. It isn't as bad as it was yesterday. Obviously, we saw the Genji going through with Reformer Seagull. Tailspin, of course, coming in on the D.Va, trying to catch them out there. God's getting the left clicks going. Yeah, Peacemaker doing some serious work. He's going to catch out Rosta as he tries to dash for the health pack. Not going to work out. Germany forced back once again.
Seagull, very clever from him. He actually shot a Graviton Surge across the gap on the upper side of the wall. That means that Germany gets sucked upwards and they can't use the little stalagmites, the ones obviously that pick up on the ground, to hide behind. That means that Gods just sits back, channels Deadeye, gets 2 very easy kills. Nicely placed, and something it's good to see Graviton Surge is not always placed right on top of people. Here's the tank, though. Well,
they're going to try and go for a configuration tank from Icefeld. Is it going to work out? No, Sleep Dart comes in, and then he's just slammed out the side by Meza. Good night. But the RTA manages to save the day. Icefeld still didn't get taken down. He's still around the side there. Now he gets dropped. There's going to be the self-destruct getting thrown out. Graviton Surge pops around the side. Tailspin tries to get straight in the face. He gets Sleep Darted. Then he gets desuited. Internet Hulk swinging away. There's going to be Skipjack catching him on there. The hook not quite landing, but Germany might well have just done it. They get pinned in the air by Seagull, but there was no follow-up this time. And unfortunately, Gods, he's trying to do the left click in. Meza's managed to get himself a kill.
Yeah, he missed the Earth Shatter, but he's able to still follow up on the backside of it now as well. And God, look at that. He's going to get the Nano Boost here as well. That McCree's going to be running red hot around this map, looking for now in the background. It's going to be Artier. Gets punched out, and even Ruster very, very close to falling himself. He did go down, ultimately there to Gods. Nicely played there as well. Germany looked to be making some progress here, but the sad reality is, Lee, their ace in the hole was the Bastion tank. Yeah. It didn't work out, even with the Nano Boost, because he got put to sleep and then charged. That is at least 4 to 5 seconds of not being able to do anything. In fact, they could have let him sleep even longer. Perfect response from the US to nullify that big threat. And now, last few moments, 1 second remains. God's going to take down Artia. Ruster, they're going into the payload here. Germany need to contest, but they've got to keep themselves healthy as well. It's going to be a Nano Boost going out over towards Internet Hulk up on the top side here. He's going to try and turn this in their favor.
Trying to get on the towards Gods. Can he get enough? He manages to take Gods down. Internet Hulk in the background, trying to do some serious work here, but he's getting forced so low. He doesn't have Primal Rage. He's going to get himself on towards the second one. Can't get him down. Seagull burns him down from up on high, and this will be the United States clearing out Germany, taking it at a clean 2-0. They're preventing them from hitting the very first point on Route 66, as they did on Hanamura. And it was all easy work for the United States, and Germany, look to be bowing out early here at the Overwatch World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it does appear that Germany won't be making it out of the group stage, which is a big shame. And we talked about how strong they are individually and the history, the richness of that behind the players, but they weren't able to put it together. That happens a lot of the time in teams in esports. Sometimes you can have the best team, but if you don't gel, if it doesn't work, then you have to accept that and move on. Obviously, conversely, for the US, they're working very, very well, but I know who else is working very, very well. It's Seltzer and the crew on the desk, guys. What do you have to say on this one?
Wow, we have a lot to say. Thank you so much, Uber and D-Man. That matchup was really, really cool for fans of you.